Greetings, crafters. My name is Julie Creek. If you don't know, my husband Tom and I own a paper arts company located in Perrysville, Indiana. I'm excited to be with you here today to share with you our very first installment of our new series called Jesus, Coffee, and a Card. Now, if you aren't familiar with Jesus, Coffee, and a Card, you can watch my introductory video on our YouTube channel that explains all about it. Today, I'm here to share with you a short little Bible lesson and start our series called Jesus, Coffee, and a Card. So today is January 2021, and we've just cleared January 2020. Aren't you glad about that? What a year 2020 was for all of us. So many difficult things that we all went through in 2020, and so many losses that we've all had to deal with. The loss of security, for some of us, the loss of our health, the loss of our normal routines, the loss of connection with family and friends, some of us losing family and friends, just really difficult things. Some of us might say that we lost a lot of things except for weight. Oh, that's another issue for 2021, isn't it? Starting over on that topic. So 2020 was rough. And as we look into 2021, it's a new season. What I want to talk to you about today is the scripture in Philippians 4:4. Rejoice in the Lord always. Again, I say rejoice. Well, this is something the Lord's been speaking to me about for months as we've walked through this difficult time in 2020. And wow, it's a tough thing. So, the Lord tells us that we should rejoice. It's in the Bible in several different ways, talks about Thanksgiving as well. And if we're rejoicing, that doesn't mean that we're ignoring the pain and the difficult things that really happened in 2020. So many difficult things. The psalmist, if you read the Psalms, you'll see the psalmist pouring out his heart to the Lord about the difficult things that went on. David was famous for pouring his heart out to the Lord about difficult things. So it's not that we don't acknowledge that those difficult things happened. The New Testament even says that Jesus wept. It must have been June that I just started feeling this heaviness, driving home from work one day and thinking, wow, there's just such a heaviness on me. And I really started looking at that and realized that feeling, that heaviness that I had was just grief over the very difficult things that we all are walking through. And I was mourning the loss of our normal life. So we're not ignoring that part of it. We need to find a way to talk about that with our friends or our family and unload that at the feet of Jesus. We're not diminishing that. But Paul's still saying in the middle of that, we can rejoice. He didn't tell us to consider it. He's saying do it. Kind of reminds me of snow in central Indiana. When it snows here in central Indiana, we have a lot of people who love snow, and then we have the people who don't like snow, and there's always a bantering back and forth about the snow. So if you think about what Paul said, and you think about it in the terms of the snow, if the people who don't like snow would take a look at snow when it falls and watch it fall and hit the ground and cover everything with that beautiful white blanket, maybe they could think differently about snow. If you watch the snow when it falls and it all lays on one side of a tree branch, it's like magic has happened, like someone has painted the trees. If you got in the car and drove to the local sledding hill and watched the kids jumping and screaming and yelling, would it change your attitude about snow? If you thought about in our region, what happens every year when it snows is that the water goes into the water table, and the farmers in this area need that water. They need it to feed their livestock in the summer. They need it for the crops to grow strong so they can continue to help feed America. Snow is an important part of the cycle of the life where we live. So changing our attitude about it and choosing to be joyful in the middle of it changes our whole outlook And this is what Paul's asking us to do. Find something to rejoice about and change your outlook. It really will make a difference in us, even though it is a challenge. So if you're with your friends today, we have a simple card for you to do together. As you get together, you could talk about, do you have someone in your life who's been a mentor that's going through difficult times, or maybe just someone that you've observed and you've noticed how they had the ability to rejoice in the middle of difficult things? Are there characters in the Bible or people that you've read about in the Bible that went through difficult things, that did difficult things that God asked them to do, and yet they stayed the course and had a good attitude? These are great things to talk about. You could also, in your free time, look more into Philippians and study that and read the whole story of Paul. As you connect today, I encourage you to rejoice with each other. If you're having a few friends over, rejoice with the friends that you have. Pray for your friends and ask God to bless them and encourage that relationship that you do have. As we look at our card today, if you got the PDF download, then you know this sheet is in there. And I designed that so you could print that off and you would have the text already complete for your card. So I simply took the top and die cut that with our stitch circle die, and the bottom I die cut with our stitched rectangle die. I layered that up on a standard A2 card and then accented the front with our pierced snowflake die. You could easily make this card with things that you have at home. If you'd like to make a purchase, you can do that on our website. If you use the coupon code ZIP, it'll save you 15%, and that's valid until January 31st, 2021. I hope you've enjoyed our short time together today. Look for us on the YouTube channel every month and find our Jesus Coffee in a Card simple study for you to share with your friends. Thanks so much.